Hey, it's Christina with Tinagirl Travels, and I'm in Prince George, British Columbia, where we're going to check out 5 really cool places. Let's start by having a really quick look at where Prince George is actually located. Pretty much smack dab in the middle of British Columbia, Canada, where the Nechako River meets the Fraser. 9-hour drive from Edmonton, about 9 hours to Vancouver, and an hour's flight time to either of those places. The first place we're going to stop is the Visitors Center, located right on the edge of downtown by the railroad tracks at 1300 First Avenue, and it was going to be one of the top 5 places that I was going to show you, but I found so many cool places that I just had to add this in the beginning and just consider it a bonus stop for you. It was actually my daughter that told me I had to include the Visitors Center in my video. She was so impressed with the fact that they would actually lend you a fishing rod and everything you need to go fishing for free. Even in the winter, they have you covered, and they'll lend you an ice auger for ice fishing. And you can borrow these things for multiple days. So I just find that amazing. They'll also let you borrow one of their bikes for the day, again for free. That's what I love about Prince George. They just trust you to bring it back. So the Visitor Center is full of brochures of all the local stuff you may want to check out, and also anything province-wide that you may want to see. The center has free Wi-Fi and super helpful staff, and a really great gift shop featuring local artisans, and everything was actually really reasonably priced. It's also wheelchair accessible, and you can bring your pet inside if it's a hot day. So their hours vary throughout the year, so check the website, and you know what? I'll add a link to that below in my description. But generally they're open from about 8:30 and they close at about 6. So let's get into the top 5 places to visit in Prince George. The first place I recommend is Cottonwood Island Nature Park, located on River Road. It's just behind the Visitor Center and really easy to get to. So just continue down First Avenue to River Road, staying on the south side of the Nechako River. The trails are flat and easy to navigate, but keep in mind this is bear country, and as I was filming this I had some music playing on my phone only because I was walking by myself and I didn't want to surprise a big old black bear. There was fresh bear scat on the trail, so they are active in this park, but don't let that stop you from visiting. I've never actually seen a park anything like this. The park is open year-round, and I can imagine how beautiful it would be in all 4 seasons of the year. So this park sits right where the Nechako and the Fraser rivers meet. It's 33 hectares, and it's named after the 300-year-old black cottonwood trees that are located throughout the park. These are the fantastic carvings. They're done by a carver named Elmer Gunderson, and I'm going to add a link to the park and a link for Elmer below in my description. So aside from the great walking trails, this park also has a canoe and a boat launch. They have scenery viewing platforms that are really cool. There's a picnic shelter with like a grassed area. There was an outhouse, and there are interpretive signs as well. Here you can see there's plenty of free parking, and right next to the parking is the picnic area. So let's move on to the next place you must visit in Prince George. Place number 2 is Great White Toys, Comics, and Games, located just off Highway 97 at Spruceland Mall. This place just blew me away, and I come from a far bigger city than Prince George, and we have nothing like this anywhere near us. The vast amount of games, from card games to box games, expansion packs, games for kids, games for toddlers, adults, it's just amazing. And they've been around for about 30 years, and they're just getting set up for online shopping. So if you don't live nearby, you can actually have games and toys and things shipped directly to you. So they open around 10 and they close around 7 Monday through Saturday, and about 6 o'clock on Sunday. Something else they do is host weekly gaming events. They also have a gaming area where you can go play games anytime they're open. If you like puzzles, this is the place to come, and they have puzzles with up to 18,000 pieces. The comic section is huge, and they also have a really extensive Lego inventory, as well as super cool collectibles. And I'll add a link to Great White Toys, Comics, and Games in my description below so you can check them out. Let's move on. I have 3 other super cool places to show you. Now let's show something for the adults, and I was surprised that Prince George had a winery. In fact, it's one of Canada's most northern wineries, and I come from wine country, so I was really excited to check this place out. I'll show you on the map where the Northern Lights Estate Winery is located. So we're starting out back at the Visitor Center, driving west on 1st Avenue, turning right on River Road and crossing over the Nechako River via the Cameron Street Bridge. We take the first exit onto Prince George Pulp Mill Road, and you'll find the winery just along the riverbank. The grounds are beautiful, and you're welcome to explore them. I'm visiting in late August, and as you can see, the apples are almost ready. The winery is British Columbia's #1 fruit winery and grows much of its own fruit for their wines. You'll see blueberries, strawberries, gooseberries, 2 varieties of apple, cherry, raspberries, black currants, and rhubarb. It's a really pretty place to come for lunch, and the winery also hosts events like weddings and different meetings here, and I'll add a link below for you to check them out in more detail. Let's go inside and have a look at some of their wines and their dining spaces. As you enter the front doors, you'll see a gift shop to your right. Again, featuring lots of local artisans. You'll see pottery and jams and all kinds of things. And then you'll see the tasting bar straight ahead. The tasting fee is $5 per person with a $3 off coupon towards a bottle of wine. That will get you a taste of 4 different choices. Their wines have won some prestigious awards across Canada. Like I mentioned earlier, Northern Lights Estate Winery is known for their fruit wines, and they have some really interesting combinations like apple, apricot, gooseberry, rhubarb, strawberry wine. And the one that really sounded good to me though was bumbleberry, which included raspberries, blueberries, and Saskatoon berries. So I ended up choosing to buy the black currant wine, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with some friends real soon. The food looked and smelled delicious. Here's a sample of their current menu, and the prices seem very reasonable for the quality and assortment that they're offering. They had seating both inside, upstairs and downstairs, as well as patio seating with the gorgeous view of the river. This place is a must visit if you like wine. So time to move on to place number 4, and this is another one of those places I have never seen anywhere else ever. The Makery had just opened a day or 2 before we visited, and you're going to find it at 1135 5th Avenue right downtown, across from the Wood Innovation and Design Center. This craft and coffee bar is one of a kind, and I wish it was somewhere near me because I would go there for coffee and to work on my projects all the time. What a fantastic idea. So it's open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 till 5. As you step inside, there's just so much to look at. You'll see this board with upcoming classes, things like Dollhouse Club, botanical drawings, letter writing club. You can even bring your own typewriter. They do metal stamping, and oh man, this place is amazing. You'll see there are supplies available for you to purchase. So if you arrive just to buy a coffee and all of a sudden you get inspired to create, not to worry, you can buy your supplies here. There are also beautiful handmade items you can purchase. Let's check out the Dollhouse Club. So you can buy a ready-made house from the Makery or bring your own. What you'll be doing is building all the beautiful details inside the house. There are monthly classes, all with a different theme. This is such a great idea. Here you can see the huge workstations for your projects. You can show up with your friends and bring whatever you're working on and enjoy a coffee together, working at these beautiful workstations. This was the area in the Makery that I totally loved the most. It's the letter writing station. And they have all kinds of old-fashioned wax seals and ribbons, and they have an old typewriter and all kinds of paper and envelopes that you can use, different pens. Everything's for sale just for a few, not very much money. You can buy those things there, or you can bring your own, of course. The coffee shop had a large variety of drinks available, both hot and cold. We were there at 1:30 and they had already sold out of all their baking. It must have been really good. They do have gluten, dairy, and egg-free options, and I'm looking forward to visiting again soon so I can try some of that baking. I had my usual, an Earl Grey tea that was steeped to perfection. Keith had a beautiful handcrafted latte, and my daughter Rebecca had an iced Americano. They were all really delicious. So you'll find they also have gift cards available as well as fresh ground coffee beans for you to purchase and take home. You can follow the Makery on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm going to add a link to their website below in my description. Make sure you go check this place out. It's amazing. Okay, let's move on to my final top place to visit in Prince George, and these are in no particular order, but this last place is pretty darn cool. The Railway and Forestry Museum at 850 River Road. Check it out on the map. So starting at the Tourism Center, take First Avenue to River Road on the south side of the Nechako. Right next to Cottonwood Island Nature Park, you can easily visit both places on the same day. Your first stop will be inside the Welcome Building, where you'll find a small gift shop with plenty of fun things to buy made by locals. You'll also see a model train set that looks pretty intricate, and I think they were just adding to it while we were there. In the gallery, there was an artist by the name of Lou Englehart featured, and he paints paintings of all the old beehive burners dotted throughout central British Columbia. The museum was closed the day we visited, but Deidre Pratt, the curator of the museum, and Nadine Faber, the event coordinator, kindly showed us around so that I could include this amazing place in my video. The Central British Columbia Railway and Forestry Museum is spread out over 8 acres and has more than 50 locomotives and pieces of rolling stock for you to see. If you're a train or railway enthusiast, you need to come and check this place out. Honestly, trains don't really thrill me that much, but this place was actually super cool and I didn't want to leave. So plan to spend 2 to 3 hours checking everything out. Just the sheer size of some of these locomotives is awesome. They'll give you a tour booklet when you arrive so that you can follow along on the map and you'll have a description of what you're looking at. There's also a little ride-on train that goes around the museum grounds. It's not running right now due to COVID, but it should be running in the future, and I hear it's pretty popular with the kids. So I'm just going to give you a taste of this museum and everything you'll see when you visit, because I have a longer and more in-depth video coming up soon. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on seeing that. So just a quick recap on my top 5 places to check out in Prince George, and I'll have links to all these places below in the description so you can check out for hours of operation and anything else you might want to know. So the first place was the Visitor Center, and we were counting this as a bonus stop where you can borrow a bike, a fishing rod, and even an ice auger in the winter. Amazing. Officially, place number 1 was Cottonwood Island Park with all those beautiful carvings by Elmer Gunderson. Place number 2 was Great White Toys, Comics, and Games. Honestly, the best stock toy store I've ever seen. Number 3 was Northern Lights Estate Winery with fantastic fruit wines, great food, and a gorgeous location. Make sure you have a meal there. Maybe check it out for lunch or dinner. You need to go. It was amazing. We can't forget about place number 4, the Makery, right downtown, where you can have a coffee and a pastry and work on your craft or join a class and learn something new. I am totally jealous that Prince George has a cool place like this. I wish it was near me. Finally, place number 5 is the Central British Columbia Railway and Forestry Museum. It's so cool. You need to check this place out. It was awesome. Hey, thanks for watching Tinagirl Travels today. I hope I was able to show you something cool and something new. If I did, give my video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any of my upcoming videos.